Well, hello there. How are you doing today? I am legally obliged by the Slaanesh lawyers who are, turns out, actually pretty bad at their jobs. But hey, I managed to get to help them out a little bit and say that I would not release this until after the beginning of the year, technically, because they're having a big New Year's party and they didn't really want me to ruin it. Anyway, this is would Slaanesh throw the best or worst party? And here you can see that there is a demonette with a booth with magic sparkles, and this man has acid thing painted on his chest. And here I am being a DJ. Everybody loves DJs, right? Especially if they're cute cats. They go meow 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 meow, you know, stuff like that. Anyway, so we're gonna get started here, and we go first into who Slaanesh be. So Slaanesh is the chaos god of excess and things like that, and we're talking excess on all things, you know, excess in pleasure, pain, excess, like part of the reason they got the Emperor's Children is because that they were obsessed with being like the bestest, most perfect swords person ever, and they want slash real good. So basically Slaanesh is always going to be a little over the top. That's kind of the thing. And here you can see a big Slaaneshi army. Apparently pink is the most excessive color, which I guess I could kind of see that being a thing. Although I'll be honest with you, I think either neon pink or neon green would be the color that would be the easiest for me to look at and go, dude, tone it down. But you know, it's fine either way. So this came about in the 40k universe basically because the Eldari were having a big murder, rape, fuckfest thingy, and they did it so long and so hard that Slaanesh came out of it. And then she ate all their souls, or well, like I think decillions of souls from the Eldari Empire, and that's also where the Eye of Terror comes from, and all that other stuff. And that's also like, if you're wondering what was most of Eldari society like, if it bred that, most of them were just Kamara. It was basically just Kamara, but like way more people. And that's why the craft worlds are like these weird, almost like meditative monk type people that Escaped did, and you know, Exodites have similar things going on. I mean, I wouldn't really personally want to be a part of that big society. Anyway, that's who Slaanesh is. I don't think there's ever really a thing that actually goes into how Slaanesh comes about in Fantasy or Age of Sigmar, although something that is very funny is that there is a part in Age of Sigmar where Slaanesh has glutted herself on so many souls of the Eldari that it's just like a big fat thing, and then Tyrion and Tickle just come along and go and then steal a bunch of the souls, or well, not steal, but you know, take back. Anyway, so you might go, well, what happens if you worship Slaanesh for a long time? Okay, so this here on the left, this is Emperor's Children before Slaanesh. There's Fulgrim and his big old jawline and his pretty armor and all these guys. They look guys looking pretty neat, and they're really obsessive and very martial and all this thing. This is Slaanesh after worship after a little bit. You just start to do things that are more and more extreme. You're trying to like make your appearance more and more extreme. You're trying to make it so that it's easy, like you like scaring people, you like torturing people, all these kinds of things. Like, see, they got the spikes on here for seemingly no reason except for you know, extra sensation. You have a face cape for some reason. I mean, you also took your bolter and did all this to it. It's not really the greatest. I would not recommend it, but hey, man, you do you. They will also start to paint themselves in more like gaudier and gaudier colors because it like the sensation like delights their brain eyes. And you can see that this person here kind of looks like they have exposed flesh back here, so it looks like they actually cut off their face and then like kind of like restabled it back on for some reason. Slaanesh also would be kind of weird to interact with. This image is by a poorer person. But yeah, super cocaine. They like doing drugs. After a while, it's no longer that you can get high with like regular drugs. Like, hey man, I like cocaine. You're like, no. Regular cocaine, not enough. You need super cocaine. Yeah, I've seen this at a Slaaneshi party one time. I went there and I was walking around. I was like, hey, this is a nice little place. And they kept trying to offer me drugs. I'm like, I don't really want any drugs, thank you. And they thought that was weird. But they were always petting me because they said that my fur gave off a really good sensation. So that's good. However, it's very good that my fur is non-stick. Because, man, some of those guys are sticky. I don't understand why they're so sticky. Although one party I went to, I was like, oh man, I'll give it one more shot. I mean, they're always really nice in inviting me. Well, one guy was like, I want to take a bite out of you, and then it became a problem because he bit my ear. And the next thing you know, of course, he mutated into another cat. And then not long after that, he spread out. And then before we knew it, it was just 9,000 of us dancing in a little circle. And that was kind of, I mean, I had a lot of fun, but I don't really think that's what the people there signed up for. But yeah, Slaanesh kind of basically always pushes you further and further to the extremes and things like that. So, here's the thing. With a Slaanesh party, it's not really if it's gonna go wrong, it's that it's gonna go wrong. This Noise Marine here says, I made a fucky wucky. But yeah, it's gonna go wrong. There's not really a way around that. Unless you are like already in the deepest depths of Slaaneshiness. I don't really think there's a way for this to not go wrong after a while. What counts as a good time? Let's see, this is something that's important. You see, for the Slaaneshi peoples, it's not, oh wait, let me move myself so you can see. There's a demon head down there, and she ripped off some dude's arms and threw it into the air. Now back to my spot. So basically the thing is that they don't just do the sex, drugs, and rock and roll for a good time. They take it to the most extreme version of that. So like this Noise Marine is probably gonna blow some people up before the end of this. He's just gonna, and by the way, it's not music that comes out of a Noise Marine. It is just screeching. And like they think it's music, and they're like, "Oh wow, this is really cool. I really like this music." But it's literally just horrendous screeching. It is just that. You're gonna start looking weird. You're gonna do some body modification stuff that's gonna look weirder and weirder until like it's not just like a little bit of body modification. It is like this eventually. You'll get one boobie, but not the other one because that's like aesthetically interesting, apparently. Everything's gonna get louder and louder and louder. There's not really much of a way around it. Oh, and also, what counts as a good time? Turns out torture's a good time. Like sometimes people will sit there and like let themselves be kind of tortured, and then other times they're gonna be definitely torturing other people. So it really kind of just depends about the party that you're at. Honestly, like. It pretty much it seems like it almost always goes back to torture, which is why I keep having to punch demonettes and eat them sometimes. Man, demonettes taste funny. They taste kind of like cotton candy, and you wouldn't think that. You would think they taste like excess and things like no, mostly just cotton candy, or sometimes grapefruit. I'm not really 100% sure what the grapefruit thing is about. Nom 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 nom. Tasty grapefruit. Oh, also. You're not really, like, this guy actually looks pretty normal for a Slaaneshi person. This is kind of more of what you start to get into with Slaanesh. You start to get more and more weird designs, and here, I'll move my cat so you can see. Like, this one's kind of interesting because it has a boobie that is also smoking. And then, you know, like, this is, like, what you're actually summoning and things like that. Like, people are like, oh, man, demonettes need to be pretty. And it's like, well, yeah. They're kind of supposed to be pretty. They're kind of supposed to be alluring, but like, yeah. Oh, also, this image isn't the greatest quality, but you can kind of see here that this guy is like getting his brains fingered. He's like, oh. And this lady is like a barbed tongue, which just seems like, you know, like a hat on top of a hat, but you know, who am I kidding? Excess, it makes sense. But yeah, this is what you're actually kind of summoning when you start getting into Slaaneshi stuff. They look very weird because like they don't really understand how to look like pretty to like a normal mind, because after a while it's just like it has to be more extreme, right? Otherwise it's like not that interesting, right? But yeah, this is about what you're gonna start getting, and it's not really the greatest. I would not recommend it, honestly. But you know, hey, I guess you do you. I mean, I'm just imagining like you're trying to like, you're like, hey, getting a second base with somebody. Oh man, everything is going well, and then you get your hand bit, and then they smoke your fingers, and that's gonna be weird, man. Anyway, I would much rather have a nice cozy party. So thank you for the invite, Slaanesh, but I don't know, man. Like every time you invite me to a party, like lately, it just seems like I have to start spreading my catness, and now I have like, let's see. Wait, I gotta look at my chart. Oh, now I have 9.8 million more of me than there used to be, and that's fine. I really like having whole world populated just by me, and we do like little dance parties and stuff like that, and those are fun. Or we have like little comfy cuddle piles. Those are fun. But you know, like I really prefer personally to just have like a more relaxing time. So thank you very much, Slaanesh. You can go ahead and click off the video now. Okay, now that she's gone, I planted terrorist powder at their latest party. They're terrorist powder. The cops have already been called. The interdimensional cops are gonna come. They're gonna wrestle her and all her demonettes. That's what you get. That's what you get for not taking a hint and for being so rude. You're not supposed to put penis cum into the letters. That's a sticky letter. But it's okay. I have tongs just for those. But yeah, so I planted a bunch of terrorist powder at the local Slaanesh meeting recently, and they're just getting the absolute crap beaten out of them by police officers right now. But it's okay because they're my good cops, because I influence them. Therefore, they have to be good, right? It's magic. It's just the way things work. Oh man, it's very good to imagine a cloaker drop kicking a demonette, and then just, I'm gonna do this all day, and just kick. Which, if you think about it, is a different kind of excess, so we may have just gone full circle. But it's okay. Anyway, don't forget that if someone tries to offer you drugs, threaten them with terrorist powder. Anyway, that's it. I hope that you all have an absolutely wonderful one, and I hope you think that God loves you and I love you, and Happy New Year, bye-bye. Bye, love you, bye.